Oof. Damn near almost cut my beard off. Listen, I think I've seen enough. What is up? Welcome to Cutting Up. I am your host Mac, and I want to thank you for checking out this content. And I look like right now. And usually when you see me on your screen looking like I'm cosplaying as Jamie Foxx in The Violinist, it's time to do a review of a new product. Today we're going to be doing the unboxing of the StyleCraft Ace. This is a cordless electric trimmer, which they keep on referring to as electric trimmer with universal UBC. I did remove the plastic. I was lucky enough to catch this at Marshall's. You can see that I got it for $34.99. A quick Google search, I have been finding them in and around maybe a little higher than what I got it for. So when you have that in mind, know that you're not getting something that's going to be commercial or professional grade necessarily, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get professional results from this. So as we get into this, first things first, we're going to take a look at the box here, and it's going to win some style points for me on the box. Again, presentable. It does, if I'm nitpicking, as I do more and more of these, I will tend to get more and more detail oriented. It does have a matte black finish that seems to collect thumbprints, very much kind of like a screen on a phone. I know that seems like an overemphasis on the box. This is probably something you're going to end up throwing away or not keeping, but the box is a sturdy enough cardboard that you can keep it in here if you wanted to. It doesn't look like once you remove the plastic it's going to be very difficult to open with human hands. Let's see what we can find out just by reading the box. Electric trimmer with universal UBC rechargeable skeleton design. So this is a T-shaped trimmer. This should be removable, but we'll see if we can do that. It does boast having a lithium battery with up to 3 hours of runtime and a 1-year limited warranty that comes from the manufacturer. Highest quality Japanese stainless steel blades. I am very much a big fan of when they do it in the box, so you know exactly what you're supposed to be getting in there. So we will be getting 3 guards. There will be the cleaning brush and the oil setup, the trimmer itself, and the USB-C. So very basic setup, nothing as far as bells and whistles. It's pretty much what you're always going to get with this setup. 3 different guards, the oil to make sure that you're maintaining the blades, and the brush to clean it up, and a way to charge this thing. But remember, this is portable, it is rechargeable, so this is something you can travel with or you can throw in a bag to be on the go with. Once again, if you're looking this up, the model is the Ace. Let's take a look at it. First sight of unboxing. Again, has a high quality feel if this was a gift. So far, I don't feel much weight to this. Feels like the trimmer is going to be very light, but we'll see. What we have in the box here, the instructions. We have the USB. I'll go ahead and open this up. We're gonna take a look at how long the USB is. So if I'm stepping back, maybe about 3 feet. One thing, if I'm nitpicking, is I love that these things are not having proprietary chargers, but one of the problems that I'm running into a lot of electronics now is that they're sending you these USBs with nothing to plug it into a regular outlet in. The assumption is that you should have one of these, or in these new smart homes, a lot of the electric outlets are starting to have USBs, but that's not universally adopted yet. So you are going to have to find a compatible device to either plug this into, which shouldn't be that rough to do, but it is just a bit of a nitpick for me. You know, just give us the damn power brick to be able to plug this in. It's great that I can take it off of the power brick and plug it into something that has a USB, but we're getting to a point where we're forgetting that this is not universally adapted as of yet. We will look at the brush, and the brush is about mid-quality. I mean, it will get the job done. Again, there are other things that I would probably substitute this for. A cheap toothbrush will do the trick, but this one is not the best I've ever seen, but far from the worst. There is your basic oil, and in very capitalistic style, the bottle is not filled all the way, which someone will explain to you they need the air in there or something, some other capitalist justification for why this is not filled. I guess we should be just thankful that they're still giving it to us at this point. It does say 3 guards, but I only see 1 guard space, so I'm thinking all 3 of them got to be in there. Pretty simple design. Got a 1mm, 2mm, and if I can get my finger under this one, 3mm. Now I will point out something that I find unique in this. Usually in these sets I have come across, you usually get something like a 1mm, a 3mm, and like 5 or something like that. They went for 1, 2, and 3mm, and then obviously when you don't have anything on there, that's a 0. I think I actually like that a little bit more. There was always a big gap whenever they do 1, 3, and 5. The difference between those are so big. If I want to slap on the guard, there might be areas like here where I want to add in a fade that I want the subtlety, the difference between a 1mm and a 2mm, or the 2mm and the 3mm. So I do appreciate that these are closer than your usual sets. This is of course the 3 guard system that if you lose, you're just out of having them. It's not something that is like a ratcheting system that we've seen in other ones. Now it's time to get to the main event. Points to them of course for coming with the blade guard. I love these things. These are the way that I will get into something that people are probably sick of hearing me say on my channel, which is if you are good to your tools will be good to you. So this is a way to just quickly make sure that you're protecting the blade. And there is the T-trimmer design. It is lightweight, definitely not something that feels heavy on the hand, but I got to say it doesn't feel cheap. I've had other lightweight ones that are slightly lighter than this, but there's a plasticky feel. There is a heft to this that makes it feel like it's high quality. You'd have to really get your hands on it to really understand what I mean by that, but it's maybe the difference between holding like and I hate being this because I'm not one of these Apple product people, but like holding an iPhone and holding like some random build Android phone and feeling the weight difference, like one feels a little bit more, not necessarily expensive, but it feels like it's not a cheap build. There is gripping on the side here that's not overly aggressive, so it's not something that is going to hurt the hand, but it's going to be easy to keep your hand free of slipping, so you can be good about your accuracy on this. Now it does just have the 1 button that I see, and there is the charging point there. I don't see like a docking stand like some other trimmers do. Not points off, but just letting you know that's how you go about it. I have to say I like that extra little step they did there with the Ace branding on the blades as well as there, and then there's the simple StyleCraft branding there. There is your little guard, and there is the skeleton design of the T-shaped trimmer. First time turning it on, straight out of the box, no charge. And there is a nice hum to it. I didn't get any rattle off of it or anything like that. Not super quiet, but definitely not the loudest thing. You can feel the power without it feeling like it is vibrating the hand too much. Comparing it to another StyleCraft product here, when I turn that on, you can hear the buzz difference, and it's about the same, if not about the same vibration, just a little higher pitched tone to it, but feels about the same amount of power. But ultimately, this is going to all boil down to how well this thing performs. Again, it just has on and off, so there is no modes to get it into turbo or anything like that. This is just on and off. It is closer to getting to more of a standard of a professional cut, or something that maybe a barber would use or a barber would have on the go. Without further ado, I am gonna take just a quick second to do the boring stuff and read this. We'll be right back. So usually I do the boring stuff off camera, but this one is very simple. This one is kind of a modification of the booklet and the fold out. It doesn't fold out into a full poster style. They do have how you get it registered for your warranty. The reason I'm gonna read this one on camera is just because I didn't want to try to remember all the details that I'm reading here, but it clearly states do not get this wet and do not submerge. It gives you clear-cut cleaning instructions, which is to not use harsh solutions, use a mild soap or a damp cloth for cleaning. It even goes as far as to tell you kids can use this supervised, never tamper with any moving parts, charge the application at least once a year. That is an interesting one to put on there. Under charging, one of the things that I noticed that I thought was interesting and seemed a bit extreme, but at least they clearly stated this for you, is not to charge this thing in anything under 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so please don't plug it into your freezer, or over 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which again, I'm not sure why you would ever want to do this, but they're telling you keep it somewhere that is not too hot, not too cold. Clear-cut warning about charging it in somewhere it might be in direct sunlight. So, you know, be careful plugging this into a bathroom that is getting too much light. Don't make it somewhere where at some point in the day the sun is going to beam directly onto it. Why I did want to read this in front of you as well is to show you how clear they give you the instructions specifically for the Ace. They give you clear instructions with illustrations telling you exactly what comes in the box, how to keep your blades maintained, and then the last point is basically just getting into how to register for the warranty. So highest of praise for this. This is probably, if not the best manual that I have seen, probably the second best manual because it's a quick read. You get concise information with clear instructions that are not hard to understand. But we didn't come here to praise them on the warranty or how good the box looks or any of that kind of stuff. We came here to see what this thing can do and what it's going to transform this look into. So let's get into that right now. So my usual tests are going to be doing the duck lips, seeing how well it does line work in here, trying to do line work here, and then some of the overgrown areas here, seeing what the difference between the 0, the 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, and 3 millimeter are, and then telling you if I get any hair tugs or anything like that and how sharp and efficient it feels. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take an area here where I have some overgrown here. Hey, stop watching my bald spot, or stop watching my thin spot. So this is with 0. Okay. Pretty smooth, I gotta say. Absolutely no hair tugging, very fast. Let's slap the 1 on there, and again points to them for clearly marking which one is the 1 millimeter there. That felt a little bit more, it just might have been me being a moron, but felt a little bit more difficult to snap into place than I've seen with other previous trimmers, but still not that crazy. Let's do the 1 next to it. So you can see the subtle difference between the 0 and the 1. I'm not sure if my hair is grown out far enough to see what the 2 and 3 are going to be like, but we'll see right now. Again, this is a little snug. It gets on there and stays in place perfectly when on, but this felt like first time use is a little stiff to get on there. Just maybe that was just my experience. Let's put on the 2 millimeter and see what that's like. Alright, so we're learning in real time a very important lesson. When you see these other trimmers go from 1 to 3 to 5, the big huge gap in between those 3, this was just the 0 with no guard on. Right next to it was 1mm. The subtle difference between the 2mm I can't even get to really see. I'm gonna see it here and see if we can make a distinction. And I love you guys and all, but I'm not willing to sacrifice cutting off my beard to try and trim the 2 and the 3. But definitely I can see where this is a benefit to, like, if I wanted to take down something like this. Finally, the 3mm. My hair isn't long enough to really show you a 3mm on here, and I don't want to trim too much into my beard, but I'm impressed with the subtle changes between 1 and 3. Seem like it shouldn't be a big deal, but there is significant difference that you can see with using the guards, and it just tells you how ridiculous the jump is when they skip sizes. I like it so far. I have not felt a hair pull at all. We're gonna go back down to the 0 and see how it handles the duck lips. So we're gonna get the duck lips out. I'm also going to go and get my comb to help assist getting in here with the line work and see how that does. Let's do this. Okay, so I have to give this probably some of the highest praise that I have ever seen so far in all of my reviews. This is probably the best detailing work that I've been able to do with a trimmer, even against my plugin that was supposed to be professional grade. I feel like maybe not the quality of the line work, I don't pretend to be a barber, but as far as the ease at which anything other than my own skill level, this is the best that I felt. I felt absolutely no hair pulls, no tugging, anything like that. In here, I didn't feel any cuts, any bruising, anything that was hitting the skin. It felt like using other devices that claim to have skin guards. This is high quality stuff as far as the line work. I am very impressed with how I was able to get in here and do the line work and clean up the lip area for my mustache. I did that very quickly with very little resistance, if any at all. Again, the feel of it, the grip I'm able to get on it, the fact that I don't feel this high rattle, it's not noisy. On that alone, I should be able to wrap up the review, but we're going to continue the trim and I'm going to give you my final thoughts at the end here. Transforming before your eyes. Just for the record, I want you guys to realize something. I have not done any of this yet, but I've already really got the review done. I'm just pretty much trimming up at this point. I think I've seen enough to really know, even without going in these areas, but stay tuned. You'll hear from me in a sec. Damn near almost cut my beard off. I had one accidental turn off catching the button up here. They placed that in a pretty good spot. Listen, I think I've seen enough. There's only two reasons to ever cut a review short of finishing an entire haircut. It's either really good or really bad. And in this case, this is really good. I have to give this possibly the highest praise I have ever given a trimmer. And I don't mean a portable trimmer. I mean any trimmer that I have personally used. This is going to change the standard on this channel going forward. Simply put, this makes the cut and then some. This is lightweight enough that is not something that would bother you to trim someone else's hair with. The quality of the cut, I have to say, has raised the bar, especially in something this affordable. When I was Googling it and I saw it as high as $65, I have to say, even if at that price, the value is there. Yes, it does not boast a lot of other things like other modes, higher or lower frequency. It just has simple on and off. But the quality of the cut, the quality of the line work that I am achieving with this, even though I'm not done yet, but I've been able to do the under neck. So I've done, you know, a different hair texture here, the subtlety of the 1 and 2 and 3 millimeter without skipping sizes in there. The fact that I have yet to feel one hair tug at all in any which way, shape, and form, even in the most of sensitive areas for me, which is right here under the nose. This area is very soft. Usually you feel a little bit of a little prickliness or cutting of the skin or something there that feels sensitive. I was able to mitigate that to almost none at all. This is one of the most impressive trimmers that I have gotten my hands on. And they didn't even send this to me. I went out and bought this. So you know this review is not something that you have to worry about being compromised. Would I love for StyleCraft to send me out some more products to review and get possibly some kind of promo code for you guys like I have on other products? Absolutely. But this, hands down, I have to give the highest praise to. I don't think that I can give you a higher recommendation for this. This is going to be the gold standard for what I say as the best trimmers. There is really no drawback. I can't find anything to really point out cons with. Can I say that this is the best trimmer? No, it is the best trimmer I have used. And I think that if I do find a better trimmer, the subtle differences between this and something that might cost 3, 4, 5 times as much is not going to necessarily be worth the value unless you just have it to spend. This is not the best budget trimmer. This is not the best cordless trimmer. Again, this is the best trimmer that I have ever used. And I am definitely keeping this. This is worth the purchase. And I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up my cut. So excuse me until the next time we're cutting up. Well, hold on. So I'm gonna just finish up here and wrap this up for you guys. This is beyond making the cut. Get your hands on this. Definite buy for me. I'm looking forward to hearing from people who get their hands on this or have had this for a little while and comparing notes and seeing what you guys think. Till the next time we're cutting up, stay sharp. And I'll see you in the next one. Maybe still holding this in hand. Definitely see why they call it the ace, because this, there is no card higher.